first ever live All Ears on Us podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming. Oh, I'm so glad to be here in the sold-out Stadthalle in the heart of Europe. Oh, for the audio listeners, you guys won't hear how packed this is because I've instructed most of the audience to be. There are thousands of people here. Millions probably, I'm not sure. I can't count past 12, but I know that it's going to get too loud if all 5 billion live in India. All right, I told you guys, be quiet. We don't want these mics to peak. All right, we only have so many of the sound system. It's going to be all laughter. We don't want that in this comedy podcast. It's going to be a very fun show tonight, so let's get it started. Without any further ado, let's welcome back to the stage the co-host for tonight, Mr. Jack Holmes! How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing good, Reggie. How are you doing?
I'm all right. You are a fucking alcoholic. I should point that out
What
real
the
quick.
Wait, okay. Why exactly me? Is it the one with the disease?
Okay, 50 million people in the billion, 50 billion people in this room right now. You all saw there were 3 chairs on this stage, and then Jack just brought another one up for his 2 alcoholic drinks. He's like, I gave him 3 beer tokens tonight, so he's like, hey, Jack, you have 3 beers. And he's like, that's not enough. Rum and Coke.
Hey.
Don't worry, I'll pay out of pocket.
First off, I've still got the 3rd beer token, all right? Second
Ace
off,
in the hole.
You're just fucking jealous that I had the foresight to be like, oh, I need 2 beverages to get through an hour conversation with you because it is going to take it out of me mentally to talk to you for an hour, right? And then I had the fucking foresight to bring a table onto the stage so I wouldn't have to get off the stool and bend down like an amateur hack, right? I'm thinking ahead. That's some grown man shit right there.
Honestly, I'm just jealous of the fact that you had $4.50 for an extra drink.
It was actually $3.80, but I'm a generous tipper.
That's what his girlfriend says all the time. Describe sex with Jack. He's a generous tipper. He gives me most of the tip.
Wait, I'm not sure if you're making I have a small dick joke or my girlfriend's a prostitute joke.
Honestly, I'm happy with either, but I feel like you'll want this cut out tomorrow. So. You guys don't know, I've had to cut so much shit out on that.
I was so painfully clear about this. Let's start. Let's start. Don't want it to go unaddressed. The fact that Paul was there, cranking the volume for that intro, but like he was a DJ in a club in Ibiza, just like yeah.
He's got one hand on his ear like he's got headphones, but he doesn't.
He's just fucking literally turning a fader up.
I also don't like that Paul has one of the most distinguished. We have 3 ridiculous laughers in this room tonight. One of them is him, who every laugh he has sounds like a quail call. We got this guy who single-handedly ruined so many of my comedy tapes. So I'm like, hey man, can you record this? And as you hear, number 3 right over there. Just a cackling witch stirring a cauldron at every joke.
I love that we both seek out a career as a comedian. We both are unhappy about the fact that we do it in Vienna, which is quite a tough city to do comedy in at times. You'll agree. And then the 3 people
I kill it. I'm pretty dope, bro.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Look, I know you have sesame seeds and pickles, but some of us have real lives to bitch about. Some of us have real problems, white privilege.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it's true. Like Reggie, how am I going to fit this double mattress that I found on the street on my single bed? This is the problem I have to deal with today. My point being, the 3 people in this town who are actually willing to laugh and from Austria, we do nothing but criticize them for that. I won't act superior here.
All Austrians. That's why Austrians don't laugh. You've taken all the laughter and hoarded it like Smaug. Oh, man, yeah, speaking of we've had a lot of horrible shows in our life.
Yeah.
Tonight's not one of them. You guys are fantastic. All 50 billion of you.
It's just going up and up and up with that number, isn't it?
Look, I can't help it that people are still coming in after we closed admissions.
I didn't even realize there were this many people on the planet. I thought the population capped out at 7, but no, here we are, 50 billion people.
Jack, read a book. So I like okay, you're gonna move back to Vienna soon, right?
Yeah. Let's get a round of applause for that.
Don't clap too much. That means that the whole city is gonna smell like his feet. It's Swiss cheese. Like Austria's
Right.
about to become Switzerland.
I'm getting so sick of you bringing up the smell of my feet. Right? You have not been particularly pleasantly potent yourself recently
Well, is
either.
this racism?
No, it's not
This
racism.
feels like a black thing.
I'm addressing
Oh, look
the-
at Reggie. Smells like fried chicken and watermelon. Continue, Jack.
Trust me, I'm addressing the white half. Which, sorry.
smell like
I'm
mayonnaise.
I'm addressing the white 3/4.
Look, all I'm saying is you're coming back to the city and you're like, oh, I get to do all these open mics, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm dreading open Phil.
Like, I like how you're like before the show, he was like, I don't know any bits. I need to like write down some notes, but all of it is just shitting on people that we know. And you made it, 2 minutes into it? Before you're like, fuck open Phil.
You made 30 seconds into the podcast and then brought up the one thing I specifically said, let's not bring this up.
You said your girlfriend was a hooker.
That was Don't try it with your slivering fucking snake-like way with words. No, you implied that.
Point is.
Oh, good, there's a point.
There's a point. Here's the thing, Jack.
Oh, there's a thing?
Okay, just in the last week, I've had 6 shows that were fucking ridiculous. And that I told you about one of them, and he was jealous that he didn't have this train wreck of a story. So there was a Fashings open mic. You guys know Fashings, right? You guys can be more enthusiastic.
For those of you who don't, it's just Vienna's excuse to dress up like twats and eat donuts, which is something you don't seem to have a problem with the rest of the year. I don't know why you need a day to celebrate looking like a dick.
Yeah, like how a lot of Europeans have American parties where they just put on big sunglasses and red Solo cups. Fashings is basically England's hey, let's do a stag do at Auschwitz where we dress up like Elvis. But we'll do it without leaving the comfort of our own home because never remember. So there was a Fashings open mic down the street, and I messaged the guy, and I was like, hey, I would like to do a spot. And he's like, actually, sorry, this one's only for German-speaking comedians. Want to do it in German? And I was like, no. I can't be funny in German. Still not convinced anybody can, so no. 2 weeks later, he messaged me again. He's like, so should I put you down for a spot? I was like, I just told you I'm not going to do it in German. He's like, you know what? I've changed my mind, had a change of heart, season of giving, and I'm going to let English people participate too. So I was like, yeah, put me down for a spot. I show up, there are 7 people in the room. And I was like, okay, whatever, I've done worse. And I'm like, who's the organizer? They point to this 15-year-old boy. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And everybody started laughing, and I'm like, why are you? Okay, yeah, I get it. He's weird. But then he's like, oh, so are we ready? You know what? We're gonna do it really loose tonight. You can do however much time you want. Just don't stop at 15. You can just do whatever you want, very loose. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, time to start it. We go back to the back room. None of the other 6 people follow us. And we walk into just laughing as I go. That's the last laughter I heard of the night. Was them laughing at me just walking down the hall with this, into a dark corner with this 15-year-old boy. And I get back into the room where the performance space is. There's only one audience member, and it's his 80-year-old grandmother. So I had to do 11 minutes in front of a guy who I found out later has Down syndrome.
No!
So told me oh yeah, he has Down syndrome. I'm like, oh, then I shouldn't make this joke anymore. But I have no soul, so let's continue this story.
Oh, just like him.
Yes.
Wow, I horrified you.
You made me speechless. I haven't seen Jack do something like that since he brought up the Holocaust when we were on a train. And he's like, dirty, thieving, robbing bastards.
You are
Ever since Auschwitz has something been so bad.
Right,
In fact,
no.
those trains ran efficiently.
No, not what I said, not at all what I said. Quoted out of context made me look way worse than I was.
Okay, he says quoted out of context, but the context was he got mad at them, found their free Wi-Fi on this train, looked up their Facebook page, added a 1-star review, and then said exactly what I just said.
Shut up! The official quote was lying, cheating, robbing bastards. The train to Auschwitz were more reasonably priced and the guests were treated with more respect.
And then he said, hey, look at this. And I laughed hysterically because I am not a good person. And Jack was like, oh, Reggie approves. I must be a good person.
My biggest mistake was just thinking, oh, Reggie's my moral compass here. Reggie wasn't repulsed by the horrible Holocaust jokes, so that came in the form of a review.
Yeah. So then he's like, look, I'm still proud of it, but not proud enough to share it on Facebook like I was planning. So then I started looking it up so I could share it on Facebook. But I couldn't find it, so Jack took a screenshot, sent it to me, so I could post it, and then he could share it. So you're not a good person, Jack.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, so I get up there for this retarded boy and his grandma. I do 11 minutes, and it's made even worse by the fact that his grandma barely speaks English, and all of my jokes are met with, uh-huh. And then he keeps leaving his seat so he can turn on a smoke machine. Because, like, the only thing that's keeping this from being Showtime at the Apollo is lung cancer.
Yeah, we should have got him tonight. Think how much more impressive this sold-out stadium full of people would have been if we had a smoking
billion.
machine. Yeah. So they just keep breeding. That's the fucking problem.
With this much sex appeal on stage, Jack, how could you expect them not to be bunny
I
rabbits?
know, it's fucking shit hot up here.
Nailed it.
Yes.
I had actually the same night after that show, I went to a second open mic where there was a guy who was just like, he was inexplicably serving curry at this British pub. Like a glorified lunch lady. Like, and it wasn't like behind the bar. It was just like, he just had a pot in the corner of the room and he was just giving people curry and heckling every single comedian.
Much like that.
Like I said, it's sex appeal. They just got fucking Jewish married. And he was heckling every person in the room. I got on stage and because people I love so much that like people say all the time, they're like, oh, comedy's my therapy. I just get on stage and tell my problems, make them go away. And then they find out that herpes doesn't go away just because you talk about it. Comedy doesn't make you a better person because it encourages you to be a piece of shit. And what I said to this guy, because he just kept interrupting me, I said, you're lucky that you're done serving curry for the night, or I would walk off stage and cum in it so I could finally add some delicious flavor to your British cuisine. And I got a standing ovation. So
did it really?
It really did.
Yeah, actually
everybody was so fucking mad at him at this point. It was like 2 hours of me seething in a corner being like, I'm gonna say the curry thing, I'm gonna say the curry thing. What's the worst show you've had?
Ever or recently?
Whatever. It's just content, brother.
I think the worst show I ever did was the first time I performed in a shopping mall in Austria. Whereas I
love that first is a necessary attendance.
Yeah, I know.
I make a habit of it. So,
and irritating laugh number 2 was there.
Both times? He was for both mall shows.
Oh my God, you have been at both of my shopping mall shows. One of them not even in Vienna. You got on a bus. All right, so here's the story. I do a show in some like open mic in some nightclub in Graz somewhere, and a couple of weeks later I get a phone call from someone who's like, hey, we're organizing a talent contest and we want you to like come and perform in it. Now bearing in mind that show I had done that they had seen me perform, you heard me do it earlier on in the set. It was the story where I soaked a tampon in vodka and shoved it up my ass. You got the 30
They thought that was a joke. It turns out you're
no,
the
this
joke.
happens. And you got the 30-second rendition of it. That used to be a 7-minute story, right? And that's what I performed that night. So I was like, all right, they saw me in a nightclub performing a story about shoving like tampon-soaked vodka up my ass.
Well, when you say in a shopping mall, I feel like you should paint the picture a little
Let
bit
me get there. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me fucking get there.
As long as you want to address it.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, cool, I'll do the gig. And they say, fine, we'll email you the details. They email me the details. I am taking part in a talent contest called Steirerstar, right? And it's happening at a shopping mall on the outskirts of Graz at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Needless to say, not the ideal comedy circumstance. But if you want to see it, go online because they recorded it professionally.
It's the best recorded thing you have.
It really is. Multi-camera shot. And the only person you can hear laughing is irritating laugh number 2. And yeah, that was, I had to go on in between a 14-year-old boy who sang a King of Leon song and a 15-year-old girl who did the most inappropriate belly dance I have ever seen in my life. Like, I thought my fucking act was inappropriate for that, but no, there were so many men with hands in their pockets when that girl was on stage.
Okay, what an appropriate segue, because Jack has completely out-scumbagged me so far tonight. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, but you're going to edit all this out.
No, hold on. Who looks like a bigger scumbag right now? Come on, 72 billion people, answer me. Okay,
Someone said Reggie.
Fuck somebody who said Reggie.
No, shut up. You don't get mad when you ask them a question and they give you an answer.
No, here's what makes me mad. It's that this is the dynamic all the time. People act like I'm the scumbag and Jack's a fucking saint, even though he agrees with everything I said, but then he's like, I don't know. I live with feminists. I can't speak. So... And like people want to love Jack so much more than me. I have this look that's just like, I probably shouldn't like him. So even when Jack just said, hey, they were jerking off to this 14-year-old stomach, after saying saying that this mentally handicapped organizer who had the gall, the forward-thinking entrepreneurship to start his own open mic to celebrate this Faschings holiday has no soul. And I'm like, who is more of a scumbag right now? They're like, well, look, it's clearly Jack, but we're not going to admit that. Like, fuck you guys. Fuck all you. Go on with your story.
No, that's pretty much it.
Fine.
I did not do well. The humiliating part of it was it was a win by vote contest, right? So there was a panel of judges, not unlike X Factor or one of those talent star things.
Very unlike those things. It's in a shopping mall.
Yeah. None of the judges actually did anything. They just sat there and watched. They never fucking spoke. So, like, it was just an audience vote, and the audience vote was basically the food courts, right? People just eating fucking, like, McDonald's. And they made me stand on stage with the host had his arm around me and said, and who wants to vote for Jack? And he went through, like, 120 people, and 11 of them had their hand up. And the whole time he was like, 1, 2... Right. And I was hammered as well. I should go on record. I was so drunk.
Check it out on YouTube and make sure you share it with everybody.
Does YouTube search Jack Holmes end of a career and it's the first thing that comes up?
And if you could just forward that to every booker in Central Europe, I would really appreciate that. But the reason I bring up that like Jack is a scumbag and nobody fucking seems to agree, I found one person that agreed. Yeah. Jack did a show. Do you have the letters with you? Because I only have 2 of the pages.
No, I've got all 3 pages.
All 3 pages. So Jack did a show.
Fuck you. It's my story. Let me tell it.
Let me fucking set it up because I was already setting it up. Bitch ass. So last week, we had somebody here, I think it was last week, it was the 5th. We had a woman named Jen Kerwin. She came in from Switzerland to do a headlining show here. Then afterwards, she went to Graz. And like here, went really well. Everybody enjoyed the show because I put on a good show. Then she went to Graz. And afterwards, she got Jack got a letter, a 3-page letter complaining about how Jack's a piece of shit.
Right.
Go on.
So for context, we did 2 shows that night. The woman in question was at the later show because she more than made herself known. Are you lighting or something?
20 minutes at a time.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm steering this ship.
Okay, that's fine.
Go on,
so she was at the
monkey.
late show. The late show finished at like 11 o'clock. So let's say she got back to her house at midnight. This was sent to me by 9 a.m. the following morning, a 3-page complaint PDF file.
Written as if it was a police report.
Bullet
points and everything.
Not just typed into a Facebook Messenger like the psychopath that she clearly is. No, a fucking PDF. I don't even know how you make a PDF
Formatted.
file.
There's indentation.
Oh yeah, there's bullet points and all sorts of
points.
shit. All right, so it starts with like, Dear Mr. Holmes, Dear Mr. Dunkley. Yesterday evening, in brackets, the date of the show, I and several of my colleagues went to your Abroad show at Cafe Eder. First, I would like to thank the organizers for making the show possible. When I first saw the advertisement, I was excited to learn that English comedy show would be given in Graz, because this is not such a common event. Those of us who are expats in Austria have learned to appreciate English events when they take place here. We arrived at Cafe Eder expectant and willing to be amused. Austrian, all right? That said, I would like to provide some feedback from the evening based on my impressions of those of the colleagues, which I hope might help during the planning of future shows. First, the advertisement of the event was misleading. Both the title of the event and description led the audience members to believe that Jen Kerwin would be the main comedian providing the stand-up show. Your names were listed as brackets host and brackets support.
Are you going to read all 3 pages?
No, don't worry. I'm just going into this. I'll hand it to you afterwards, right? But long story short, she's a fucking loon, and so let's go into the bullet points she gave me.
I want to read the bullet points because you don't get to talk about yourself like that. Because you're going to try to soften the blow. Now the thing is, Jack's like,
no, but
you're going
to read things that weren't on there. You're going to be
complaints.
like, I found it bizarre that Mr. Holmes would think to start his set by raping a 4-year-old child on stage.
I've also wondered why you choose that as your opener. With reference to Mr. Holmes' act, because I feel like she deserves a British accent for this, which is why I'm going to read it and not Jack. The first stand-up comedian, Mr. Holmes, made a reference of having drunk too much when he was on stage.
But by the way, did not.
Shut the fuck up and let me complain. Also, look at what he has by him right now on a table he specifically brought, and tell me if you think he probably hadn't had a little too much sauce. This would have been amusing had it not been too obviously true. His eyes were bleary and he slurred his words as well as stumbled while moving on the stage. In general, drunkenness, mild, can be amusing, and many famous comedians have made skits to this effect. But this was not the case here. Bullet point number 2. He used the word fucking 53 times during his skit.
Which, I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it's fucking impressive.
I know goddamn well that was true. Like, I wasn't there, obviously that was true.
It seems low.
No, but the thing, I would have had to have said that once every 20 seconds for that to be possible.
We all heard you talking earlier. That's very plausible. So, where am I at? All right.
Second bullet point.
I don't know why I expected me to be able to read. This became extremely boring, which I'm all with this woman at this point. I counted the number of times he used the word because I found his repetition quite irritating. Again, the use of obscenities in stand-up comedy is generally not a problem and is quite common, but this was meant that the dialogue both lacked originality and creativity, both of which I consider to be vital characteristics of good stand-up comedy. This indiscriminate use of obscenity should not be confused with good humor.
That was all in italics, just to emphasize the point.
So, like I said, not a loon at all. Like, she's clearly right on the money with all of this. I mean, we Jack. Oh, but my favorite part, I will say my favorite part, is Okello Dunkley. I don't know who that is. Anybody know Okello? Yeah. Okay, he was the opening act for the night, and her response to the thing was, with reference to Mr. Dunkley's act, very good, I appreciated it, keep up the good work.
She still felt the need to send that to him. She was like, I work for Okello as well, and it's basically her just going, look how fucking shitty your employee is.
He knows. All right.
At least he'll give me work.
I don't need it. Anyway. That got really petty really fast. Don't you talk about my black dad like that? For all I know. Oh, man. So, I know we can't talk about your girlfriend, but, let's try to breeze the subject. How was Valentine's Day for you?
Valentine's Day was really nice. We did a show together, and we just sat in a green room and ate burgers. It was...
How romantic.
Yeah, it was...
Also, we should point out the burger's vegan, not burgers. We just sat in a room and ate.
It was bread with something in the middle. That's a fucking burger.
I'm gonna fucking stick my dick in the bun right now. Jack, you want a burger? I know it looks like a hot dog, but don't worry. the standards that you drop to be a vegan and be like, no, tofu turkey, it's definitely turkey. Schnitzel, sure. Anything in bread, it's a burger now. You gave up more than your parents gave up on your life.
No, my parents are fucking proud of me. My parents are still rooting for me. That's the
what-
disgusting bit. They'll listen to this with fucking smiles of pride on their face. Well, maybe not at this point anymore.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your Valentine's Day.
Yeah. How was Valentine's Day for you, Reggie?
Interesting.
Interesting. That's let's go into why it was interesting.
Well, I had a date, apparently. So I've been single by choice for a while, and a girl messaged me the day before, and she's like, hey, what do you want to do? Do you have free time sometime this week? And I was like, probably. She's like, what about right tonight? And I was like, I'm not free. And she's like, how about tomorrow? I'm like, are you just trying to go on a Valentine's Day date with me? She's like, no, I wanted it to be tonight. And I'm like, yeah, but you would have helped me past midnight. Like, just wrapped around. Like, no, be my Valentine. So then I woke up the next day, and I was doing all my shit, and then halfway through the day, I remembered I had a date, and I was like, fuck that today, I don't want to do this. So I reluctantly went upstairs. She lives upstairs from me.
He forgot he had a date with a girl in the same fucking building as him. Like, when he touched the roof of his tiny-ass, overpriced bedroom, he wasn't like, oh, yeah, I've got something to do today.
Okay. So, yeah, I went on the date, and I broke her couch. It was very embarrassing. Okay, for her. Because what happened was, like, she was on top. I'm going to get graphic for a while, but I just need you guys to understand I'm a sexual being. I don't let this plot. Side note, we're going to side note for a second. Did you know?
Oh, God.
Okello's wife's girlfriend thought that I was gay, and I don't understand that in the slightest. I don't want to ask the audience again, because fuck all of you guys, but like, do I give off that vibe?
You give the vibe of overcompensation. Oh my God, I hope the mics picked that up. That was fucking brilliant.
We're editing it out! Okay, who is that, by the way? Raise your hand. Oh, Paul's girlfriend. You've got great standards. Okay. Paul, for the record, is obnoxious laugh number one. Also, the sound technician for the night. So, fucking give it up for Paul! Sorry, DJ James. It's a very inside joke. James is a pedophile. James is right there. So, here's the reason that her girlfriend thought that I was gay. It's that we were at a party one time when we were all drinking. They were talking about buying property in Montenegro because they have, like, adult lives. Like, I lived my life like a teenage runaway. The mattress thing was not a lie that Jack made up earlier. Like, I, for 6 months, slept on a mattress that was half on the floor and half bunched up like a taco. Like, on one side, it was like hugging me like an overprotective mother. On the other side, it was letting me fall to my death like my actual father. So...
He kept it like that, so the girls he would lure into his room, he could just slide out of bed after he was done.
And I'm like, and I'm going. All right. Like, this is your place, and I'm like, I don't need it. All right. So we were talking about real estate in Montenegro.
Where is Montenegro? I'm not even
You
sure.
fucking idiot. I don't know. It's in the Balkans.
Okay.
Like real estate.
You could have told me that was a Caribbean island. I would
That's
have
in the Balkans, right next to Zimbabwe. So, yeah, so they're talking about this real estate, and they're like, yeah, you've got to buy. Now is the time to buy. Beachside property for like 20 pesos. Like, they're not even working with euros or whatever their currency is. They're like, pesos, that's a worthless money for this country. Anybody from Montenegro tonight? Good. So they were talking about that, and I was like, I would like to get on in this venture. And like, oh, yeah, feel free to invest. And I was like, I can't afford food. So how about this? I got a proposal for you. And I'm talking to a woman right now. I said, how about this? I'll suck your dick for 50% shares in this real estate property. And she thought I wasn't joking. Like, she's like, oh, he's gay. A comedian told a woman he's going to suck her dick for a 50% share in real estate. He's probably gay.
And wait, so she legit thought
Legit thought I was gay.
For how long?
Months. Like, Okello's wife, like, they were talking about me, and it's like, really? I thought Reggie was gay. Why? Because he said he'd suck my dick?
Well, and then
My non-existent dick?
you do have a story that you've been quite public about having sex with someone with a penis.
That was, look, okay? I don't know why you're being so fucking mean right now.
I'm not being... You can rewind and listen to my wording. I was careful with how I phrased that.
I just feel like you shouldn't be shaming this woman for having a dick.
I'm not shaming her.
It was a girl who happened to have a dick. All right, we've all been there. Anyway. What are we talking about? Oh, Valentine's Day. So I went upstairs and we were like on the couch and like she's on top of me and I'm a sexual being, so she was like grinding on me and like not even grinding. It wasn't like we both had pants on still. So like that's the thing where like you kind of do this motion and just kind of like.
Wait, were you like just dry humping each other or?
That's the worst part. Like it was foreplay. All right, that's my.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were like.
Wow, you broke the bed during foreplay.
Or I could finish my story.
Or.
So, like, you know, you should be doing like this sideways, like this figure eight, you know, like a Mexican dancer. Like that's what your hips should be doing when you have pants on. But she was literally just, and I'm like, that's not a thing. Like you're just smashing my dick in like it's Play-Doh right now. So we keep fucking around a little bit more, and now our clothes are all off. She's on me again, and I'm like, okay, no, we can do the whole Play-Doh thing. That's fine. Like, it's still gonna have the same consistency when we're naked, but like, we can do this. And she's like, oh, let's go to the bed. And I'm like, no, you wanted this, let's do it. So we do it, and it's 1, 2, broken couch. At which point, I started laughing so hard that I went limp. Just 2 minutes of her like laughing myself limp inside of her at me breaking her things, which I also found out I broke her hymen at the same time. Ooh. Yeah, she didn't tell me she was a virgin. I wasn't happy about it. All right, it was gross. Like I found out whenever I like went to like grab her tit and I left a bloody handprint like Wilson from Castaway. Fucking gross. And not even the blood. I don't mind the blood. That doesn't bother me. It's the emotional connection that followed afterwards. Ugh. She just like, started looking at me like a lost puppy, like, love me. I'm like, yeah, get out of here. Shoo. Throw an old boot at her. Like I could just like make her take her virginity back and leave. That was my Valentine's Day.
I don't know what
I'm a romantic.
I don't know what I'm supposed to add to that fucking horrifying story. But let's ask again, who do you think's the bigger scumbag out of the two of us?
No, now it's justified. Okay, I get it now. But earlier, you can still fuck yourselves. All 72.3 billion of you. How was your Valentine's Day?
Wait, the couple or the sad-looking man next to the couple? Either way, it's going to be hilarious.
We have our...
The anniversary.
On Valentine's Day?
No.
Oh, I was like, you met on Tinder on Valentine's Day. I don't even think they wanted to be in a relationship. It's just like, look, this is a sign.
No.
Okay.
We had it 2 weeks before, and so this is our celebration day and not on Valentine's.
You didn't celebrate on the anniversary?
No, never.
He forgot, didn't he?
No. It's okay. It's really okay. We don't celebrate it. We don't want to.
He keeps looking at me like, dude, stop it.
No,
So
it's okay.
You didn't do anything for Valentine's. Oh, you did anniversary stuff on Valentine's Day. Or you did Valentine's Day on anniversary day.
Kinda.
That was an either-or question.
The second one. We celebrate our Valentine's Day on anniversary day.
Right,
so it's on the 2nd of February, so it's 10, 12...
Well, congratulations to everyone involved.
How does it feel to know that on your... How old are you?
Past 30, so I don't say it.
Past 30, so I'm gonna lie her now. It's basic information. Like that's like if I'm like, hey, where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Oh, you'll tell me that just fine. Like it's like if it's like, hey, where are you from? Shut up. Okay, Switzerland past 30. How does it know to feel at your past 30 minus 2 birthday? And they started dating. Like these two, like these two broke a couch the way that every Austrian celebrates.
That's some love I got.
It was, what, the breaking the couch? There was no love. It was, I just
Did you
shoot
not hear
her
this?
away. Out of love. So you guys, what did you guys do for your anniversary then?
We ate very, very expensive steaks.
Sorry, what?
We ate very expensive steaks.
Oh, like steaks?
Yes.
Like how much is expensive? Like 12
All in
euros?
all, it was 330.
Fuck you, fucking great ass.
God.
What are you, fucking astronauts? Don't clap for them. They're taking all of Austria's money like they took all of Austria's laughter. They're hoarding it for themselves. Rob them. We're on the U6 right now. That's what it's for. Robbing Austrians.
Was the cow made of gold? That's insane.
Wagyu.
I'm sorry?
Wagyu, it's very expensive.
I like how you... That's charming. She thinks that we, like, know classy shit. Like, you went to, like, oh, we ate Martian. I'm like, I guess that's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds very expensive.
Did you hold it in a cage first, so it doesn't get to move? So
We didn't
300
expect it to
300
get
euros.
that
Does
expensive.
that include, like, the plane trip to, like, whatever country?
We thought so too. We should have gone on vacation for this money, so...
Yeah, you really
but-
should have.
But
You go to Billa, you can get a steak. That's
I like that, like as he's like unbuckling his belt and just like letting like, oh, that was good, that was a good meal. She's like, you know, we could have gone to Abu Dhabi. He's like, fuck it, an animal's dead, I'm happy. That's the only way to celebrate love, with death. Who paid for the meal?
yes, we shared.
Ooh, who ate more? This seems like it's a mean question, but I just want to see
Always him.
if.
Always him.
Okay. Did
Do you have like a monetary breakdown of how much you suspect he ate of the 300s?
$2.99?
No.
It's like, hey, I've got Wagyu. You've got
You've got to
unlimited
get the tips.
breadsticks. So
But to be fair, I ate Wagyu and he ate the cheaper one. So kind of...
to be fair, I ate Wagyu and he watched.
No, New York strip.
I'm sorry?
New York strip steak, so it's a little bit cheaper.
No, they had to fly that shit all the way from New York. That's a lot. Okay,
Wagyu is from Japan, so...
So you just fucking, you couldn't just get schnitzel like a real Austrian. You got so many good schnitzel. There's like, I don't know, 250 Schnitzelzimmer, Hannovermarkt. Go there.
We should have done that, yeah.
€5, and then you can still go to Abu Dhabi and kill a cow. Like it's all.
I'm looking for a room right now, and 300 euros is my cutoff point for a place to live.
on.
And that's what you guys spend on meat.
And on wine.
And on what? Wow, the plot's
The
thickens.
steak costs like 6 cents. Yeah. It's like, oh, 2 years? I'm gonna need a drink. All right. Wow. Can you hand the microphone to him?
Sure.
You look like Fritzl's cousin. So, I'm scared to ask, how did you celebrate Valentine's Day?
I closed the relationship to my girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend?
No more.
Wait, it was 3 days ago. Oh,
That's why I'm here.
you made her split the check, didn't you? She was just like, I'm done, I can't do this.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like this won't be a fun topic, but what happened?
Yeah.
So like 3 days, like, okay, on Valentine's Day you were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
For how long?
1 year, I think.
1 year, so like nothing. And exclusive the whole time, 1 year exclusive. Okay. And then what day did she break? Who broke up with who? You broke up with her. Why? You think you deserve
We
better?
fight the whole time, and I think no, that's not.
She wasn't.
You look like you released her.
She keeps yelling, I don't want to be in this basement. Like, get out of here, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Why you fucking Wagyu in this basement? Fucking Natasha Kampusch would have paid.
I don't want to pay for eating, so
You don't want to pay for 18?
for eating.
Eating.
My English is not the yellow of the egg, so
I love it when people say that. I fucking love like, I'm sorry, my English is not the yellow of the egg. If that's how you said it, it is not.
I love that you love that because like I feel like Jack doesn't love it because it's like, oh, your German's bad. Like I feel like you just thought that was the phrase and not for German reasons. Like your English is just so bad. You're like, yellow eggs. I don't know. I can't talk. Okay, so you broke up with her because she was a bitch. Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Just like stand up real quick and face the crowd. Single. So your birthday just happened. Happy birthday. Sorry, it's a little late. All right, I'm going to take the microphone back. We're going to invite another guest up on the stage. Please welcome back to the stage, Donal Vaughan!
Stools. Ooh.
We didn't make it.
Proving once again, I feel like you and me are just from the different timelines.
I feel like Jack was just like, it's not just me who can't do this.
I'm starting to groan getting in and out of furniture at the moment.
I'm 34, so...
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
I don't think that was a complimentary seriously, was it?
No, it wasn't.
I'm
Seriously?
34.
I was guessing 102.
Okay, are we doing my weight or my age?
Neither.
Okay, good. Yeah, so either way, I don't have long left. Now, so, hopefully the end of this podcast, so...
I'm like, welcome our guest. That was it.
That'd be a pretty fucking great way to end it. You and me have had some pretty phenomenal endings to this podcast, but we've never had someone die.
I've never been cock-blocked this bad since my grinder went out when the fucking Wi-Fi stopped in the train. I was like, oh, I got a No! So, how are you doing? Did you
fine.
enjoy the show so far?
Yes, I can't believe I will probably be the least disgusting person here tonight.
Here's the thing, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Ooh.
I mean, I know you were like, I know I look like a pedophile, probably gonna fuck kids, luckily 18 plus for this show. But I met Jack, so you're fine. I might have paraphrased your bit a little bit.
Did you paraphrase him?
Jack thought power phrase was a word. And he said, excuse me, that might not have been verbatim, but got verbatim right, but still power phrase. It might not have been verbatim, but I just power phrased it. And my response was, I love that you think that's a real term.
No, here's the thing, I was in bed with my girlfriend at the time, because obviously when I'm in bed with my girlfriend, I'm constantly messaging Reggie. And, and she is excited every time he fucking rings as well. But so like,
his girlfriend openly wants us to fuck each other. Actually, this is what happened on Valentine's Day.
oh my God, yes.
Valentine's Day. Hold on, quick thing. Hey, Richard, I fucked up. Jack was right. Can you get me a drink real quick, please? What? Just a Visa Burger.
Oh, the shame of it.
I'm getting a beer. So on Valentine's Day, his girlfriend messaged me. She's like, "Hey, I'm going on stage with Bay. # too cute for words." And I was like, "Ugh." And then she was like, "What are you doing?" I said, I have to go fuck somebody." And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show me videos of like her licking Jack's tongue." Like, yeah, it's fucking. You're speechless. I know. I get it. It was gross. I saw it. It was disgusting. I haven't seen anything that gross since I saw Jack's nipples. And I said, thank you so much. Power move. And this thing was like, I was like, okay, I'll show you videos of what I'm gonna do tonight. And she was like, oh yeah, please do. And I was like, I just told you I'm gonna go fuck somebody. And she said, yes, please send me the video. I wanna Photoshop Jack's face onto her body. And I was like, do you really think that like I'm fucking somebody where like Jack's body matches her physique at all? And her response was, don't worry, I've got a lot of imagination and a lot of footage of Jack.
But here's the thing, when Reggie first told me this story, I thought that she meant that she wanted to Photoshop my face onto Reggie's body. And I was like, why do you want to watch me fuck someone else? And then she's like, yeah, I find out the truth. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes me even angrier.
So you're talking to her in bed about power phrasing?
Well, so that was it. Like, Reggie goes, I like that you think that's the term. And my girlfriend's like, I've never heard that term before. I was like, it's power phrase. I've heard it. I know this. Like, can you just trust me? I've spoken this language my entire life. Maybe just once I'm on the right with this one. And then she sits there for a second.
Quote, unquote, I know terms!
Oh, I literally said that. I forgot that. I was like, shut up, I know terms. Not terminology, terms. And then, like, she goes quiet for a second, and then, like, with a face like she's simultaneously seen a rainbow whilst eating a lemon. She goes, "It's Latin, it's power phrase."
He just said power phrasing again.
I did not.
Paraphrasing. So, let's let you direct the conversation a little bit because I feel like Jack and I will just talk over you.
I don't know much about his girlfriend. So,
You're better
but is
off.
it his girlfriend wanted to Photoshop his
she
face
wants us
onto
to
another
fuck.
body?
She wants us to
My
have
girlfriend
sex.
has a
That's-
fancy about me and Reggie fucking,
Wow.
and is quite verbal about such.
But yeah, I suppose she's willing to have sex with you. Then
Yeah.
I can see she may have no standards. No, I mean, different.
Wait, I'm not sure which one of us got insulted more there, or if it was just a pretty.
I
equal-
just, different. Is she? Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is...
Is she Austrian?
I feel like Jack.
So.
I'm sorry, I'm just upset right now. I'm going to take a moment for myself. You guys just figure this out yourselves.
So how are you liking Vienna?
It is lovely. I've been here all for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I spent most of it in the hotel room. Very reasonably priced. And I had a kebab. It's very nice.
He's literally seen like a 40-meter radius
Yeah.
from the
hotel, the
yeah.
U-Bahn station, which had policemen tackle some homeless people. That was...
What color were they?
The police.
No.
Oh. The homeless...
I know what color the police were. There's one color.
The homeless
here.
people were white.
Wow.
And they
fucking,
were...
good on you, Austria.
Yeah.
Fucking progressive.
They were very dashing, the police. They were all in a van, kind of like, will we, oh, there they are there, will we go there? As soon as I walked by, then they were out pouncing.
They're like walking around like they're waiting to be the 18, but there's no crime in this city.
Yeah, so they did look like there was 6 or 8 of them in a little van, and they were just looking out the window for anything. Like a jaywalker or something.
Tackle
yeah.
them.
So that was nice.
I was one time, there was pop quiz. You guys are Austrian, right? I'm going to ask you guys, how many police do you think it takes to question one cooperative black man? Not a rhetorical question.
23.
I like how long you're thinking about it. You're like, he did say cooperative, right? 7. I saw it. I'm just like, what's going on here? And like it was like one guy who was just like, I don't know what's going on, officer. I was on my commute, and they had a pin to the wall. 7 cops. One, like, they weren't even all doing anything. One of them, like, I'm pretty sure she did Instagram storied her experience because they're just like they get so excited they start shaking like their excitement is like, oh, crime. I might get to touch my gun for once. And
Because you were saying earlier, it's like one of the safest cities in the world.
yeah, the last time I looked at the statistics, it was 5th safest city in the world,
Now.
number 1 quality of living. Well, now that all the Turkish people are here, who knows? Anyway,
Yeah, I meant no. It's good. It seems nice. City. Mm.
well, I mean, like it's yeah. You're from Dublin area, right?
Yes, I'm from Ireland, where So.
Yeah. It's like it seems safe. I haven't seen anybody break any bar stools over anybody's head at a street corner.
That happens in the bar.
I love the idea that it's like Philadelphia after the Super Bowl. You're welcome, Richard. Richard had a short stint of doing comedy. Every one of his jokes was just, hey, did you know the Eagles won the last game?
Do you guys celebrate St. Patrick's Day here, where you get to be Irish for a day? So that's a no then, okay. Because that thing, like, because we don't have a national day, so that would be our national day. But every other country seems to be some.
Isn't the snake the Pied Piper guy yours?
Yeah, St. Patrick, who was Welsh, bless him.
Wait, was
The story is, he was Welsh, and he was kidnapped by pirates. Oh, it's great. And then he was shipped off, and then he had to mind sheep. And then God came to him and said, "Go back."
Mind sheep?
Yeah, he was a shepherd. The pirates.
I don't think
not mind
sheep.
Mind.
Oh, mind.
Take care of.
I gave my pickaxe. Oh, there's a sheep. I'm gonna make a good ass shield in Minecraft for this.
They had to take care of
okay.
or herd sheep, and then he was sleeping adjacent to the sheep. And God came to him and said, "Go back to the Irish and teach them Christianity using a shamrock." And then he did, and now we worship him. Because he also got rid of snakes.
No, don't gloss over, and then he
What?
did. How?
Well,
Teach him Christianity with a shamrock.
Well, he went around,
Four-leaf clover, crucifixion.
no, because shamrocks are three
thought they were-
smidges. No, that's four.
yeah.
That's a clover.
That's a four-leaf clover. Oh, good point. Okay.
So shamrocks have three. So the idea that each leaf of the shamrock is
Father,
three.
Son, Holy Ghost.
Yeah, but it's all one, and so he is his own son and his ghost
That's
uncle.
what it took them. They're like, we don't
And then the Irish
understand
are like,
God.
oh, okay, let's stop doing what we were doing, which was worshipping bears and nakedness and stuff like that. So anyway, then there was Northern
I'm not sure
Ireland.
if I've never stopped doing that. I've never been, but it sounds kind of like what
Yeah.
rumors I've heard.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a fun country.
It definitely looks like the porn that I've watched. Like everything Irish is just.
I've never seen an Irish porn.
Irish
film.
porn. Ooh.
I've seen a few English.
There wasn't a
porn
bag of
films.
potatoes being kicked down the stairs.
Look, man.
That's an orgy.
You watch enough porn, you'll jerk off to whatever.
I've seen English porn and it was so disgusting I had to turn it off just because they kept talking to each other. And the British accent during porn is fucking unbearable.
Cheerio.
I love that you were just watching a mirror and like just like, oh, you talking to me? I don't know who else you'd be talking to.
Like the male cameraman was talking to the guy doing stuff. He was like, "Are you looking at her ass out? Oh, you dirty bugger!" And it was just like,
Was it posh English or like
No.
you slag?
no, it
Like
was like
EastEnders sort of.
teeth coming out of the top part of the lip. Fucking British. It was not.
Oh, classy.
It was like Andy Capp meets the chimney sweep from Mary Poppins.
Worse.
Have they parodied the royal family in pornography?
Wait,
let's
the
be honest.
royal family or the TV show The Royal
No,
Family?
no, the actual crown wearing.
Oh, they
film.
must have.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. They probably have, but like when I'm trying
Imagine
to,
she had a sex tape.
when I'm trying to come, I don't look up British royal family. Like that's not a thing where I'm like, this will probably do it.
If you're trying to come, you
All
shouldn't
you
look
need to
up
do is
British
if you-
anything.
Yeah, if you're in England,
I would
just take
rather
out a
look
tenner.
up potatoes falling down a flight of stairs. That would be a better, more
sexy.
arousing situation.
Yeah, I don't think Irish really have porn. We don't have the face for it.
The face, the important part of porn.
Yeah. Faces are important because I would.
That pussy out of there. I'm not. Ugh.
I would agree with what you suggested, the ladies, because I think eyes are very important. A guy,
You're not. You're not attracted to women.
not on a woman, obviously.
My question was favorite part of a woman's body. Well, I think a man's eyes
No,
are my
don't
favorite
be
part.
so fucking pedantic, you asshole. You know damn well what he
It
meant.
was a very specific question, though. Like my question, the whole frame
But
of
I
it.
think women like eyes because you could have a nice body, but if you don't have a nice face, it's just it's a waste.
I've come
But you
to
could
the-
be a bit chubby but have a nice face, and they're like, oh yeah.
I've come to this recently with porn. Is like I do want to see like a woman's face so I can see her enjoying herself, which is ridiculous because I
Why?
know full well that no woman enjoys herself when she's making porn. But yet the fantasy is still like.
But she's making money, so she's all like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but like,
Mascara running,
if you
blah,
ever
blah, blah,
really-
cash a check.
if you ever really pay attention to their faces, it's not one of ecstasy.
No, it's one of calculating like 32 plus 77 for this scene. If I do the anal next week, that's 200.
Is that penis tax deductible? They should be.
Is it business expense?
Well, she's working.
Wait, how is it? How is it
who's
taxed?
buying a penis?
Yeah, who's paying tax on the penis in the first place?
I don't know. She probably
Is
has
she
to
renting
pay
it out for the night?
It could be, an expense.
It's a production cost.
If she's
Well,
self-employed, what do
in the
they
case
use?
of some of the girls Reggie's had sex with, his penis was an expense to them, like in terms of just medical bills.
Okay, speaking of, so going back to Valentine's Day for a second, this was an interesting thing that happened to me. Right around Valentine's Day, like right after I was cleaning my room and I found some Snow White pajama pants. Snow White pajama pants, Snow White the. You look like Jesus from The Big Lebowski. You can't woo like, oh, a children's film like that. Not with that mustache, sir.
Wait, they were pants with Snow White on them.
They were one of the 7 dwarfs that was grumpy from the Snow White.
Oh, I thought you meant they were very, very white.
No, they were from the cartoon Snow White. And I found these pants in my room, and I'm like, oh, I don't know where the fuck these came from. As soon as I don't bring that many people back to my inner sanctum because, again, it's not impressive. So I live in a student dorm and not a student. So, and we already talked about my bed. It's, it's hard to you'll fuck somebody from the bed to the floor, and it's like, you don't even have to change positions because you're changing locations. So I was like, who the fuck could these belong to? And I messaged a girl, I'm like, hey, I think you might have left your pajama pants here. And she's like, no, those aren't mine. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So then I messaged the next girl, I'm like, hey, I know you haven't been to my place, but maybe one of your daughters it got mixed up with my stuff when I left your place. And she's like, no, not mine either. So I'm calling everybody in my Rolodex of hey, these people make bad choices. And I can't find anybody who owns them. And I messaged Jack, and I'm like, Jack, you spent the night at my place. Maybe you had your girl, I know the answer is no, but maybe you had your girlfriend's Snow White pajama pants and you left them here, and he's like, oh no, those are mine.
Because I always assumed that me/Monica, that was the first thing you came to. Did
Last.
you actually started messaging women and hey, is this your daughter's pajamas?
Yes. One of those women does not talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
But yes, it's so funny to me because these Snow White pajama pants with my last call was for Jack, which I think is hilarious because whenever a couple years ago I found out I had an STD and he was my first call.
Which one?
Jack.
No, which STD?
Oh.
He's not an STD.
No.
Also Jack.
To quote what the doctor, you ask which STD,
Yeah.
to quote the letter, plenty.
A plethora.
It literally said plenty. I was like, he's like, hey, you have an STD. You have some bacteria. And I'm like, which ones? And he's like,
Yes.
bacteria. And I was like, I looked at it and it was several things that said
Like a
plenty
new
for all of them.
strain.
I don't know. I don't keep up to date. I don't read Science Weekly for new developments.
It really sounds like you should be.
Yes.
I had an irresponsible year. I'm not gonna lie. So I had to call up an irresponsible number of women and explain to them that they should get tested. And it was it was 3 days before Christmas. So I had to.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that's why I called Jack, because I'm like, dude, all the hospitals are closed. They can't get tested until after Christmas. Should I tell them now so they have to worry about it? Or should I tell them whenever the hospitals open back up? And then Jack was like, tell them now. So I had to call up, again, I hadn't been tested in a while. It was a year and a half. It was 14. I had to call up 14 different women and be like, hey, ho, 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 you should get tested. Merry
You called them a hoe.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, I once ate a whole selection box.
What?
Selection box. Do they get them here?
I'm not sure. Basically, a selection box is
a lot of chocolate.
At Christmas time, it's just a box full of different chocolate bars. It's it's a traditional thing to get.
It's not as sexy as your story, but it was a lot of chocolate.
But that was your. I'm like, a couple years ago, I got diagnosed with some STDs I had to take care of, and he's like, I ate chocolates.
I'm irritated.
I'm not the playboy I may look like.
I feel as a gay man, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Oh, it does.
Does
it certainly does.
Oh, they
yeah.
do have a lot of experts.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you have only 4-pack?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I have a barrel, a keg. No, I mean, I'm sure I probably could have sex, some men, but I'm very shallow as well. So it's
Welcome to my life.
unless it's Zac Efron, I'm like, oh, I'll do it myself. It just saves a lot of time. It gets the same result. It's still
I love the idea that it's a guy who looks
Netflix.
just like Zac Efron, and you're like, let me see your driver's license? Get out of here. Get out of here, Pete.
yeah.
How do we get from my pajamas to your STDs? This isn't working.
To his
Surprise!
Yes,
That's what he left in the house.
Well, no, I told him because I told him before this. He's like, because he saw my notes and he's like, I don't like that I just saw Snow White pajama pants STD call. What's going on here? And I'm like, yeah, I did jerk off on your pants. That's how I found them in the first place. And it's covered in grumpy. It's grumpy that door.
I guess that was grumpy now.
And I'm like, every one of those faces looks justified now.
So you're whole thing with this, like, my Snow White pajama pants is like, yo, you got Snow White pajama pants. It was Grumpy. That's like a heterosexual fucking icon.
You can have a
Also,
heterosexual man
I chose
on
the
your
man
crotch.
from Frozen.
More
It's
to the
fine.
More to the point, like, you see me in Toy Story pajama pants.
I've seen you naked with money on your cock.
Yeah, exactly. But you see me with Toy Story pajama pants, fucking
Oh, I have, haven't I?
Simpsons pajama pants. Like, you know I have a tendency for these ridiculous pajama bottoms.
Hold on,
Yeah.
But you still find, like, a pair of what you assume is children's underwear, and you're like, which girl did I sleep
It's
with?
not
with the
children.
lefties here?
It's not children. It's girl. So I'm going to take another poll from the audience, which I'm sure I'm not going to like the answer because you guys are not very on my side tonight. But Simpsons, Toy Story, the green aliens, they're like the claw.
Yeah.
And then Snow White.
No, Grumpy.
What? I didn't ask you
Yeah.
which one's better. I'm like,
We all
these
know.
are things. And you're like, yes, they are. No, like, are you? Stop saying Simpsons. Like, are we gonna pretend there's no difference between Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Simpsons, and Toy Story? Like, they're all the same exact thing.
In terms of pajama
There's a
bottoms,
difference.
they are.
There's a difference.
In-
One's a little bit more feminine than the others, right?
No, but fucking,
Thank you.
again, it's Grumpy, which I feel like is not a bad fucking spirit dwarf for me to have.
Look, in these gender-neutral times, I think it doesn't matter what you wear on your crotch as long as it's your choice. You could Photoshop pictures of him onto your pajama
Can and
pants.
have.
Yes. Like Reggie pajama pants.
Why has that not happened yet?
I don't know, but
I have multiple pictures of Jack naked on my phone, just in case. And I've never once thought that's happening. That's happening for sure. I'm posting it tomorrow. So
I'm gonna tell her tonight, and those will be made very quickly.
I have Photoshop. I'll do it.
Make it
Why were you
bigger.
bringing your girlfriend into this when we're not allowed
No,
to
'cause
talk
she'll actually
about how
get
she
the
doesn't want to be
pants
called
made.
Russian?
But Monica will actually get these fucking pants made. She
The pants.
Yeah. What were you thinking?
Or she'll
A
kill-
Photoshop picture that I just said.
No, what did you say? I wasn't
With-
paying attention.
I'd like to think you were concentrating as hard as you could, and that's just all that came out.
Probably.
A photo, whatever, not important. Everybody, you guys heard it? No. I don't care. Fuck y'all.
All y'all.
Donna, what's going on?
She's a comedian?
She is, yes. Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a comedian.
Oh, well then. That she's probably very hilarious. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a great sense of humor. She's dating Jack. All right.
It's awkward sexual tension right now.
Why do you think we put you between us?
Basically, Reggie's jealous that he's not like number one on my most cooled list anymore.
Yeah, I'm no longer the person who's seen Jack naked the most, and I'm upset.
But you do seem happier than she does when I take my clothes off in front of you.
Well, no, last time it happened, I was like,
Why last time? Every time it happens, the same thing happens.
Well, last time is a specific story that I'm about to tell. It's that we were in my room, which isn't a great start. It was 4 a.m, and we were both drunk, and we were having this really legitimate
Typical
conversation
story.
about how I'm like, hey, I think, and you might not like this, but whatever, it's my podcast. So I was like, hey, I think your relationship's changing a bit, and I just don't want to see you lose your edge because I've had friends who've acquiesced a lot, and then they feel like it's fine in the moment, and then years later they realize they bent over backwards more than they wish they could, and I just don't want to see that happen to you because I really care about you. And it was a real conversation. It was like I meant every bit of it. But then he's like, how have I lost my edge? And I'm like, well, a year ago you were taking naked pictures of yourself with money on your balls so that we could share it to all of our friends because that'll teach them to be our friends. And in that real conversation, I realized I'm like, oh, I can do something with this. So then I switched right then. He's like, oh, you don't think I'm gonna do that? I still have my edge. I'm still cool. So we got a handful of Czech crowns because that's where our careers are at right now. And he's like, yeah, let's both take naked pictures of ourselves with money on our balls. Because last time it happened, he did it first, a surprise, and I was like, you know what? You're not funnier than me, so I'm naked too. And it was at a point in my life I wasn't in the best physique. I'm not in the best physique right now, but at the time I looked disappointingly similar to Jack when I do and it was really not good. So he had that kind of leverage, and I'm like, ooh, that wasn't the funniest option. I still to this day regret not live streaming all of it. But I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, no, you take the money, take these crowns, put them on your balls. let's do this. And I was like, no, Jack, you're the one that's got something to prove. You're the one that's all pussy whipped now. Why don't you do it first? And he's like, all right. Takes off all his clothes, lays down on my bed, and puts the crowns on his balls. I give him a wine glass so he can look classy, and then I take the picture, and he's like, okay, your turn. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. That's fucking, no. So I just take that, and I send it to I just one. I sent it to a booker that he was supposed to do a show in Poland, barely knows the guy. 5 a.m, naked picture of Jack with money on his balls, like, hey!
Which is the 3rd time this exact thing has happened.
And the worst part is, then I took it and I put it on my Instagram story, and it's the most response I've ever gotten, and it was all, oh my God, why? Don't do that again! Tell him not to do that!
So I can visualize. I don't know the crowns. Are they coins or notes?
It's notes. Don't worry, it's notes.
Don't
Okay.
worry, we're not that bad.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Like it was a stack.
It was one coin.
Yeah.
Covered everything. Yeah, and so. Yeah, and that was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
And then they scissored. Have you ever had sex with each other? Because I think that just needs to.
We may as well have.
You might because
Not
and
that
live
he-
stream it.
Look, Jack doesn't know the answer to this question.
Oh, been there. But you were joking. Oh, okay. Edit that out.
So we're gonna end it with this, because I can feel. Look, you guys seem to love Jack. You guys seem to love Donal. I don't appreciate what I'm feeling right now. This is my podcast. Fuck all of you. Fuck all 82 billion of you people in Stadthalle, in India. We're gonna end with this because I promised this, and most of you again don't listen to the podcast. But again, Jack makes me edit shit all the time for the podcast. So I promise. In this one in the live show, we can't edit stuff out, so I'm gonna give you guys some secrets. So secret time. And I've been saving this secret. Yeah, drum roll, please. Can I get drum roll. Jack has herpes and his girlfriend gave it to him. Oh,
You fucking asshole!
One more time for Jack! Donal Vaughan! I've been Reginald Bärris. Thank you very much.